Hi there, my name is Ian Alden. I'm a tax attorney here with Law for Small Business, and today I'm here to talk to you about C-corporations. I'm going to cover three topics here: the good, the bad, and the okay elements of C-corporations. Now, for those of you who don't know, a C-corporation is what you often think of as your traditional corporation. Most large companies, multinational companies, are at some level C-corporations. There's a few good things about C-corporations that I'll start off with. They are great if you are growing your company to scale and want to bring in investors, because C-corporations can offer you multiple classes of stock. For example, you can have your common voting shares and what's called preferred shares. Preferred shares often give investors priority returns on their investment, but don't give them the same voting power as the common shares. This flexibility in giving investors preferential treatment is why a lot of venture capital firms insist on lending only to C-corporations. So if you're looking to get some investment in your company, you might need to be a C-corporation. Similarly, C-corporations are great because they're durable. They are their own legal entity in just about every sense of the word. They're their own taxpayer, they pay their own taxes, they report their own income separate from their owners, and they exist as a sort of liability buffer. Just like limited liability companies, the owners of C-corporations are typically insulated from liability for the actions of their company. So C-corporations are great if you really want to have your company be its own thing and to avoid personal liability for it. There's another good and bad thing about C-corporations, which is double taxation. And I'll talk about the bad aspects of that first and then the good aspects. Now, double taxation is essentially what it sounds like. The C-corporation, when it receives income, when it receives net business income, it's going to pay taxes on that at its corporate rate, which is right now 21% minus any deductions the corporation's entitled to. Once it pays taxes on that, the money belongs to the corporation and it sits there until the owners want to take that money out in the form of dividends. When the owners want to take dividends, they then have to pay taxes on that money a second time at the owner's personal dividend rates. Each owner might have a slightly different dividend rate, but that's the double taxation. You can compare this to certain pass-through entities like LLCs, partnerships, even S-corporations, where the money that goes through to the company is simply taxed at the owner's personal tax rates. Double taxation can often cost more in taxes. The good part about double taxation is that the owners get to time when they're going to get dividends. Typically, it's administered by the corporation, but the owners have some sort of say in when they're going to get dividends. This means that the owners can time those dividends to coincide with their own personal tax needs. Maybe they can time it so that they get dividends taxed at a lower rate if it's spread out over the course of 2 years. So there's a lot of flexibility for the owners there. Now, if your corporation has less than $50 million in value in assets immediately after you receive your stock in it, it is what is considered qualified small business stock, where if you hold it for at least 5 years and then sell it, you can exclude somewhere between 50% and 100% of the gain from that sale, depending on how you do it. If you do this right, qualified small business stock can actually be a huge tax boon over a similarly situated limited liability company or even an S-corporation. So there's some tax advantage even with double taxation if you're planning to grow your company and then sell it in a few years. So really, whether or not a C-corporation is good for you comes down to your personal situation, what your goals are both in the short term and the long term, and where you see your company going. The best thing you can do if you think you might want a C-corporation is to talk to a good qualified CPA or tax attorney. And if you're not sure, even after getting that advice, get a second opinion, because doing this right can save you a lot of time and hassle and really help you in your business. Doing it wrong can cost you a lot of money in taxes that you wouldn't otherwise necessarily pay. So if you have any questions about C corporations and whether they might be right for you, give us a call. Reach out to us. We're more than happy to talk to you and see what we can do to help you plan your next transaction, whether it's starting your business, growing your business, or selling your business. Thank you very much.